Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite front office report. I am joined, as always, by the lovely pair that is Gabo and Dan. Guys, how are we feeling?
Good to have us three back. It's nice to be back together.
Definitely,
Bright, yeah, and bright and early with a
definitely.
9 a.m.
I
game.
know we have a game going on.
Yes,
It's like
exactly.
weird.
So
It is
currently the
weird.
Jets are proving why they are the Jets, and as of right now, losing to the Falcons. However, I am trying to be hopeful and optimistic for them. But on that notion, we are gonna just go through our thinking in terms of this week's spreads, share our thoughts, why we are going the way we're going.
Yeah.
So far, as of right now, we have continued to beat most analysts around. So maybe listen to a thing or two that we're saying, maybe agree or disagree, and hey, you might win some money, right? Right, fellas?
Inshallah.
Inshallah, exactly. Alrighty, so shall we go through our spreads?
Yeah, sure. I have the spreads in front of me,
Yeah.
so if you want, we can just do it via this.
Yeah,
Alrighty, go
yeah,
ahead.
let's start with Gabo's team. Let's start going in hot. Green Bay Packers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are at home. Bengals are plus 2.5. Green Bay are minus 2.5. Gabo, start with you. What are you thinking?
Packers minus
Packers.
2.5. So it's a field goal. It's a field goal win, right? Look, I know Bengals are great. They're playing really well, top of their division. You know, strong team. I'm loving them. I'm loving everything out of Joe Burrows. Joe Mixon was just got the go to play.
Mhm.
So, but he won't be, there constantly. But I don't know. I just know Rogers, baby, doesn't matter where he's playing. He's gonna get you those 2-3 touchdowns and take us to the victory. So, I think it's an easy -2.5 on the Packers. I don't think it's gonna be a close game. I do think the Bengals will score. I just don't think it's gonna be a close
But
game.
even if this is why I love 2.5 because even if it is a close game, it's a field goal to win it. And the Packers did have that sucky week 1, but since week 1 they've looked very much like the Packers. Bengals have not really been playing too many difficult teams. I mean, they play the Steelers and the Steelers suck. So this is like their first true test, I think, against like a super elite team. So yeah, I would definitely go Green Bay minus 2.5. Omar.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I think the Packers. I think the issue with Week 1, I think they were just really complacent. I think they went into it thinking, oh yeah, like it's just Jameis. Which, to be fair, don't blame them. But ever since then, on both sides of the ball, like both offense and defense. I mean, offense is a given, but even with their defense has stepped up. Like, I'm thinking specifically, some games that really stand out, like the 49ers game. Even though it's a fairly high scoring game, the defense did do some plays to slow. Even though boring to watch, but fairly effective, Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm completely with Gabo. Packers all the way in this one.
Cool, nice. That was a fairly painless one to do. All right, next one. This one is actually kind of difficult. I don't know how I feel about it. Carolina Panthers at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're -3. Christian McCaffrey not playing either. So this one's
Confirmed?
a bit tougher.
Yeah,
confirmed.
Yeah, just confirmed. Yeah.
Okay.
He is inactive for today.
I don't know. I don't think this is tougher.
You don't
Yeah,
think
me neither.
so? I
No.
find it tough just because Philadelphia did put up a fair amount of points against Kansas City. They have been there or thereabouts for most of the games they played in. Carolina did come off their first loss. I am thinking Carolina are going to win this game. Obviously it's only -3 though, but that's the issue. It's a field goal. I'll pass it off to you guys before I make my decision though. What are you thinking?
Want me to go?
Yeah.
I mean, I can go if you want now. Sorry, just waiting for
No,
you.
no, I mean,
Look, I think so. The Panthers' defense has been phenomenal so far this year, but specifically their run defense. And if you are looking at how Philly have been playing, I think them using Miles Sanders a bit more and using the underneath a bit more has been more effective for them. But if you have such an aggressive run defense, like they're not going to have the same opportunities that they've had before. I think they still have the issue that their offensive weapons are not that good, right? And who did they trade for? Oh no, sorry, they signed Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
So they just boosted their secondary some more. Like name me any wide receiver on the Eagles that's going to be able to do anything.
I like
right?
Devontae
Devonta
Smith. I like him a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, who else? Right? You're gonna put you're gonna man mark him and have one of your safeties like double team, and then another person on either Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert, or whoever's
Well,
playing. Like
Stephon
that's it.
Gilmore can't
And
play
this-
till week 7 anyway, so he's not really a factor
But
in this
Really?
game. Yeah, he's not allowed.
but even regardless of Stephon Gilmore being there or not, I just don't believe that the Eagles have that much in them to
Yeah, fair
overpass a
enough.
very, very good defense.
Yeah.
Guy, what?
Yeah, I think no matter how many points the Eagles put up against the Chiefs defense has never been really one to be like, oh, okay, it's a big, nice defense anyway. But by that same logic, the Panthers kept it close and scored with the Cowboys at home, like in Dallas, without Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Sam Darnold is popping off, showing that he's the running guy, not Hubbard. So then having him at home against an Eagles team that is it's quite inconsistent. Like we don't know what we're gonna get from them, and I think when you put that pressure on Jalen Hurts, we saw what happened when Jalen Hurts was under pressure in Dallas. I think the Panthers' pressure is a lot tougher. So I honestly see Eagles not even breaking the double digits here, scoring.
Wow.
So I'll
Bold
take
claim.
the
Jeez.
Bold claim.
I'll take the Panthers here. Watch him score like 40 points. Yeah, so I'll take Carolina at home minus 2.5 or
Nice.
minus 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna take whether it's minus 2.5 or 3, the line will fluctuate probably before the game starts. But yeah, I think you got to go Carolina here. They are looking pretty dangerous with Sam Darnold, and even without Christian McCaffrey, they're proving to be like still a solid team. So yeah, I think Carolina Panthers minus 3 is pretty solid. Next, we have Houston Texans versus New England Patriots. Texans are at home, plus 7.5. Last week it was plus 14, wasn't it, or is it plus 17? I can't remember. Well, regardless, they lost 14.
It was 17. It was 17.
Yeah.
It was 17 and a half.
Bills?
Yeah, to the
Houston?
Bills.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they're
Bad.
paying the Patriots. Patriots did have their huge emotional return of Tom Brady, and I feel as though that might have taken it a little bit out of them, that game. They're coming to Houston. I don't know. It's the scoring issue for Houston for me. I'm not really sure how, with only Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is the only wide receiver who is pretty much active at this point. Do have a couple of running backs, but you don't really want to play the running game against Patriots defense. It's really tough, this one. What are you guys thinking? I'll start with you, Omar.
I'm gonna get some hate.
I know
think
you took the Texans money line, so
I did. I
Yeah.
did take the Texans money line. Look, I think, as you said, I think the Patriots last week played probably way better than their actual capacity. Like I think it was just the emotion and Tom Brady being there, and
I think the
obviously
Bucks
Belichick
played
knowing.
bad as well. The Bucks played
And the
bad.
Bucks played bad, right? So everyone has this perception that there's a difference. I think if you've just seen everything that the Patriots have shown, minus last week, both from the Texans and the Patriots, the Texans have been the fairly better team. In terms of offensive weapons, in terms of even the fact that the Texans don't have much, they still actually have better running backs. They have better wide receivers. Who would you rather take, Mark Ingram or Damian Harris? Right? Would you rather take Brandon Cooks, or I don't even know who the wide receiver is on the Patriots? They're WR1. I guess it's Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Kobe Myers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think just last week made them look a lot better than they actually are, and I think the Texans looked a lot worse than they actually are because they're the Bills. So that leads me to the Texans.
Fair enough. Good
And that's me,
analysis.
and I love roasting the Vikings and the Texans and the Packers.
It's not hard
but
to roast
even
the
then.
Texans right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
well, what's
roast
your thoughts,
themselves. It's fun. Well, first of all, thank you, Mo Asso. Is that Mo?
what's
Thank
up,
you, Mo, for the comments of the hat. They suck, but it's a nice hat. Yeah, no. What's the spread again on your book? I have -8 and +8.
plus 7.5.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think you guys nailed it with the Patriots. I mean, I still think the Patriots win this game, so money line, I'm a little surprised on the Omer side. The Patriots defense is really good. It's very underestimated in my opinion. But you guys said it yourself. I mean, it was the weather that really affected the Buccaneers. So this time playing in Houston, I'm assuming there's no weather problems there. But yeah, I do think the Patriots win it. I just don't think they have the offensive weapons to make it like a shootout or anything like that. So I will take the plus 7.5 on Houston. I think it's gonna be a close game. I still do think that maybe the Patriots win it by 3, 4, or 5 points, something like that. But to cover my butt, I will keep the plus 7.5 on the Texans.
Just quickly before we move to the next one, if there was an over under at 35, what would you take for the whole game?
Under.
I would
You
not
take
bet.
the under?
Under 35 points.
Damn.
Yeah, I would take the. What is the over under in this game? Is it 35 points?
I don't know. That's the number I came
think
up
it'd be
with.
like
But
40 something, low 40s. I would. That's
39.
39. Yeah, I would probably take the under in this game. To be honest with you,
Damn.
Texas scored 0 points. The Patriots aren't going to put up 20, 30 points. I don't think either. I think it's gonna be.
Patriots are gonna do 2 pick six. That's what's gonna happen.
wow.
Not gonna
I don't
score.
think Davis Mills has thrown a pick 6 though. I think he's thrown a couple interceptions, but they've been like deep in the end zone. The Texans seem to have this issue of going all the way up the field, getting to the red zone, and then throwing an interception or just going for and out. And because they're down so much, they have to go for it on 4th down. So, yeah, I would take the under in this game for sure. But we're talking about spread here. I think I'll probably have to go Texans plus 7.5 as a Texans fan. Give me some hope, baby. You know, we can lose, but just cover the spread. You know, don't lose by too much. Like,
That's my thought. Yeah.
It feels like a win if we cover the spread. So last week was not good. We lost by way more than 17. We lost by 40, so that was a real hammering.
I cannot believe we lost to that.
Yeah, that was stupid, wasn't it? What the? But plus 17 is crazy. Plus 17, although they covered it really easily, is like just one of the most dodgy spreads ever. Like anything above 10 is just like all it takes is for that team just to have a little bit of confidence, a little bit of self-belief, a little bit of fight to ruin the spread, right? Like we saw it with the Jets and the Titans. Like first of all, how they lost, period, was crazy, but the Jets put up like a fight, and then you watch them today, they're getting smacked by the Falcons, who we had put at, I think did we have them at bottom of our rankings, Gabo? The Falcons.
The Jets? Oh,
Falcons and Jets. Jets we put up because they beat the Titans, but I think it's Houston.
Surely the
last.
Giants.
I think
Surely the Giants. The Giants would have to be last. Surely.
No, I think Houston were last.
Well, they beat the Giants. They beat the Falcons. So
yeah, that's why.
Stop shitting on the Giants, bro.
No. The Falcons beat the Giants.
No.
Yes, Falcons beat the Giants.
No.
No, because I
Giants
lost
came
that.
back at the end with the Saquon Barkley touchdown.
Yeah, it was
Did they?
14-17.
Yeah.
17-14.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised. No wonder you haven't said anything. You
No.
were like, you guys thought the Giants were gonna lose.
Falcons beat the Giants, guys. It's 17-14. What are you on about? What are you on about? Why are you making me doubt myself? It's 17-14 Falcons, dumbass.
Oh, sorry, I was reading it the wrong way. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, no.
See,
Hold on.
there is video proof. There is video proof. Omar was right. Thank you.
We've
Look at God.
Oh no! It was like okay. We're talking. I think we're thinking about the Saints, Dan. That's what we're thinking.
Oh,
about.
really? Oh, okay.
They
Never
beat
mind.
the Saints. That's why we boosted them.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
Falcons wasn't that weak. It was the other week.
Falcons was the week.
Yeah, it was week
Because
3.
I saw the
So-
schedule. I was like, 26th of September, Falcons. That wasn't last week.
Yeah.
I was like, is Omar looking at like preseason from 2016?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Moving on. This one is interesting because there's like a lot to talk about here. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Tennessee. Jacksonville at home, only plus 4.5, which is crazy. Both of these teams have had like so much in the news. The Tennessee Titans lost to the Jets, obviously, which is like a huge letdown. A.J. Brown is available. I think Julio Jones is out. And then Jacksonville Jaguars has had the entire week. The whole of the NFL have had their eyes on Urban Meyer and what is going on
With his fingers.
there. Yeah, and apparently he went into a meeting with the entire team. He apologized for what they did, and after he left the room, the entire team started laughing at him. So that kind of like tells you or shows you where that team is at in terms of confidence in their coach. So I feel like minus 4.5 for the Tennessee Titans is low, especially with AJ Brown back. They're gonna have a bit more of a passing game. Jacksonville's all over the place. They don't believe in the coach. The coach probably doesn't even want to be there anymore. It's a total mess. I am 100% going with Titans -4.5.
I'm glad you said that because I have a counterpoint, which is the Titans currently have 23 players, most of whom are starters, on the injury list. So that's across both sides of the ball. 23 players that you're supposed to be starting or like have some form of role that are injured. Jags, as far as I know, don't have that big of much of an injury list, like apart from obviously Travis Etienne, and DJ Chark. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence is still balling, right? Like, I mean, like for example, last week, what was last week? The Bengals game? Yeah, it was the Bengals game. No. Yeah. I mean, Jags offense was still rocking, and actually, the Jags O line is one of the best O lines this year. Like, I think they're in top 7 in terms of rating. So that's why I will still carry my pick through. I picked the Jags for the money line, but
you picked the Jags for the money line?
I picked Jags for the money line.
Wow,
crazy! You're mad, man. You're mad. Man. No, I'm gonna say
imagine picking the Texans and the Jags. That is something. AFC South is coming back.
Yeah. Totally. No, I was gonna say I feel like obviously the Titans kind of like laid it back against the Jets. You know, it was a terrible beat. But I do think they got into their head. They had Julio and AJ Brown sitting them out. Oh, we'll get them a week of rest. You know, whatever. It's just the Jets. This, however, is a completely different game because whether it's the Jaguars, it's still a division game. So they're not gonna. They need to win this game no matter what. And Henry, Henry's just a truck. He's a beast. He's gonna keep on trucking everyone. He's gonna have over 100 yards no matter what every week, back to back. And now they have AJ Brown, who has a lot to prove. He ever since Julio came back, he hasn't shown up anything. So now with Julio sitting, he kind of has to be like, I'm still here, boys. And Ryan also has a lot to prove. I mean, Ryan has gone from one of the best seasons in his career last year to very bad one. So I think this is a lot to prove here for the Titans. I think I agree with Dan. -4 is just too low. I think it's Titans.
I think the upside of the Titans is way higher than that of the Jags. I mean, Derrick Henry alone puts that sky high. I think Tannehill's more complete than Trevor Lawrence. I think AJ Brown's better than any of their wide receivers. Yeah, they're missing out of their guards and offensive line, but I mean, if Jets rushing D is not bad at all, they're pretty good. And still Derrick Henry has rolled for 100+ yards for three or four games now. Like, there's no stopping the guy. So I think having that is always gonna be a big plus. I don't even know who is the running, but James Robinson had a big game last week for
He's
Jags.
had two huge games.
Yeah,
he needs to be given the ball more.
Yeah,
like look, Travis Etienne is a very good player, but I still don't understand why on earth the Jags even drafted him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, James Robinson is a phenomenal running back.
Yeah,
he really is.
Yeah, really good. Okay. Next one. This would have been good if Seb was here. Minnesota Vikings at home to the Detroit Lions, -10. This is a big spread. One of I think the biggest of the week. No, second biggest of the week. What are you guys' thoughts? Omar, I'll go with you first.
So actually, they're my pick of the week. Look, I think the Lions are gradually getting better, but I mean the Vikings on paper have so much offensive power. I mean, Kirk Cousins, as Seb will never make us forget, is one of the top-ranked quarterbacks. You still have, one of the rookie of the year nominees.
Touchdown Jets, by the way. Touchdown Jets.
Woo!
Sorry to cut you off.
See, yeah, the comeback is happening, boys. The comeback is happening.
Elijah Moore. It was a PI call on Elijah Moore. It's been 2 targets that he's been having to take it back because of flag.
Unlucky.
Anyway, carry on, Omar.
So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Lions. Lions are getting better. Lions are getting better, but I still think the Vikings have so much offensive power, and their defense has always been consistent. It hasn't been great this year, but it's been consistent enough. So yeah, it should be the Vikings all the way.
Gabo, what are your thoughts?
What is it again? Is it minus 10?
Minus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this will go down in between now to 1 because of Dalvin Cook not
I
playing.
don't think the line moves that much though. Quite honestly, I think Alexander Mattison is probably an RB1 in every single team, and probably he's just as capable as Dalvin Cook in my mind. Like when Dalvin Cook is out, he puts up the same stat line Dalvin Cook would have put up. It's I don't think much changes.
That's true. But yeah, this is in Minnesota, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I mean, I hate taking these like minus big numbers, but you know, I will say I understand Omar saying about the Lions like showing like that they have, you know, that they are a team or anything, but they still haven't been able to clutch in a game.
Right.
So I don't expect anything from them, especially not at home, division game. Kirk is coming from, you know, the Vikings are coming from a tough beat, was it? Who did they? They didn't win the last game, right? No.
They were the Vikings. I can't remember who they were playing against.
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing against the Browns. They lost 14-7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
terrible game.
trash ass game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Kirk is gonna come out swinging. You know, easily going for those 300 yards. You know, 2 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
You said it yourself, Omar. Justin Jefferson's still there. Adam Thielen has had a little bit of a quiet season, but you know, he'll still be there, scoring some TDs. So yeah, no, I'll take the minus 10 on the Vikings.
Yeah, I think so too. The Vikings defense is really, really good. Like really, really good. And Detroit haven't come up against a defense quite like this. And then, you know, I don't think Vikings should have too much trouble trying to score here. Let Alexander Mattison do his thing, man. Go let that guy. He's fresh. Like he's sharing snaps with Dalvin Cook, and that's I mean, last week actually he out-snapped Dalvin Cook, which might have been like an indicator that he wasn't ready for this coming week. So interesting in that. Yeah, I would definitely take Minnesota minus 10. Just an update on the Jets-Falcons game. Jets went for a 2-point conversion and converted it. Now it's a 3-point game.
Let's go.
Sorry if you get that money line pick.
Let's go.
Atlanta,
so
Atlanta
you picked the Jets, the Jags.
I picked the Jets, the Texans,
and the Jags. God damn.
and the Jags.
Atlanta have not scored since the end of the second quarter, so they keep going down to about the 40-50 yard line of the Jets, punting it, and the Jets are making a little bit of a comeback here.
Let's go, baby.
Jets defense, man. It is the
Let's
Jets
go.
defense.
Yeah.
Quinnen Williams.
Next game. This is a big one. Pittsburgh Steelers at home to the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh are +2. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season Pittsburgh would be the underdogs at home to the Denver Broncos, led by Teddy Bridgewater? Like, I am taking Pittsburgh +2. 100%. 100%. I don't think Denver's that good. I just don't think Denver's that good. Steelers are not good either, but it's...
I 100% agree. I'll just step in. First of all, it's not Teddy Bridgewater's quarterback anymore. He's not leading the team anymore.
I thought he was active for today.
Is he?
Let me check.
Yeah, he is. He is. He passed. So he passed the concussion protocol from an external doctor. So just the team doctor needs to clear him, which I'm sure that he will, and he's good to go. I'm pretty sure he's starting. Yeah, he's starting. Yeah.
I guess he is starting. Anyway, I still don't think it's like that said. I think this is kind of like what we saw from the Steelers last season. The undefeated run against shitty teams. Oh my God, I'm cursing a lot today. Sorry, people. But you know, the Broncos had like one of the if not the easiest schedule to start the first 4 weeks, and then as soon as they ran into a top tier team, well, top-ish tier, I mean, in the Baltimore Ravens, they really had nothing to do. They had absolutely no idea what to do. They were behind like 2-3 points, and they were still rushing the ball. Like, it's just it was a Drew Lock team, but yeah, I think I will agree with Dan, just because one, they're at home, the Steelers, and second, the spread is just too tiny. So I'll believe in Big Ben. Oh, sadly.
Wow. Okay. So this
Well,
then brings me to my point. So I
huge
picked them
pass,
for
by
the
the
money line.
way. Sorry to interrupt. Huge pass by the Falcons are already at the 38-yard line of the Jets. Kyle
Oof.
Pitts, 38-yard pass.
Oof. I'm against them in one of my big money leagues. This hurts on a personal level.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
But yeah, so I mean, the fact that you're saying the statement, "I'm going to believe in Big Ben," is already an indicator to how abysmal that pick is. Like, Big Ben is so bad, and people need to stop giving him credit. Just believe he is a bad quarterback, and then therefore, by extension, that team is not gonna win. I can't believe we're like it's to me it's not even a question. Like, I mean, they have Najee Harris, who's literally their savior. If he for example gets injured at the first drive, what is that gonna happen to that team? They're literally it's ruins. And
I mean,
so and
to
I
me,
actually think the Broncos. Sorry. This is one more thing. I actually think the Steelers, if they don't do well, they're gonna get booed out of the stadium.
I mean, yeah, at
Probably.
home,
Probably
I would
still get
imagine.
booed even if they win.
But no, what I was gonna say is like I don't see this game going. This is another one that if we were ever to bet on under, I would bet on under here. I think TJ Watt is back, so the defense of the Steelers is full up and running. So I don't see. I do see the Broncos having trouble scoring here. Against that Steelers defense. I do see the Steelers having trouble scoring, but not through Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris is gonna have a bomb of a day. And all you need from Big Ben, literally, all you need from Big Ben is maybe 2, 3 of those long passes to connect. That's all you need. To Deontay Johnson. Screw Chase Claypool. I don't know if he's playing. Screw Juju. Just throw it to Deontay Johnson. He's the most reliable wide receiver right now this year. Get that long first down and just run it with Najee Harris. And please, please, Big Ben, just know when to take the sack.
Or wild idea. Let him just first learn how to not trip on himself, and then we can talk about him like throwing a big ball or whatever.
Yeah, he's a complete
Alright.
mess, man. He is a complete mess. Speaking of messes, the Falcons are. Oh no, they made another big pass. Never mind. They like made like 2 consecutive penalties and then decided to throw a bomb. And it connected. All right, next up we have. This is the biggest spread of the week. This one I feel like is a bit of a trap game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home to Miami Dolphins -11. Tampa Bay looked horrible last week. Managed to grind out the win. Miami have kept some games recently fairly close. -11 is an awful lot, quite a difficult task. I'm not sure where I want to place this one because the spread is just so big. I personally would probably stay away from this game because it's just this. When spreads are this big, it feels too trappy. Like Tampa Bay on paper should win this game handily, but I don't know. Gabo, what are you thinking? You're wearing the Miami hat. Are you going with the Miami Dolphins
No.
+11?
Block it. Let's block this for 1 second. No, I don't think the Bucks looked trash. It was just honestly the weather was just horrible. I think if anything, they actually, to me, Bucks actually showed, hey, we're not just Tom Brady and Mike Evans, and we have a run game. They rushed it with Leonard Fournette for 20 times, and Fournette showed that, you know what, this is no longer a run by committee. This is my team. This is my running defense. I'm starting him I'm starting him over Joe Mixon because we don't know how Joe Mixon's gonna really do.
Yeah.
But 28 rush attempts, yeah. If anything, yeah, sure. Tom Brady looked like crap. Everyone like was overthrowing like crazy. Players weren't catching the ball, but I mean, if you saw the game and you saw that rain, I don't blame them. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
To add to that, the pressure of Bill Belichick and all that stuff, blah blah blah. This is back at home against Florida, same state, teams. Getting it back, I think the only thing that Bucks don't have is the defense. It's not the same defense as last year, but I'll still take the -11, -10 on Bucks if I had to bet on it. I do agree. Like I would stay away from it. We've been down this path. -17.5 with the Texans did not work our way. So yeah, I mean the bookies might know something that we don't. So I would stay away, but if I have to pick for the sake of picking, I'd take the Bucks.
Yeah. Omar.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to prolong this further. I completely agree with Gabo. Should be a straightforward case. I mean, I do appreciate the Miami slightly continue to get better week by week, but I just think the Bucks have too much firepower.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, there should be no weather interference in this game unless a random hurricane comes along. But yeah, I think you have to go -11. I just don't see the Miami Dolphins being led by Jacoby Brissett putting up enough to keep up with the pace. And also, Tampa Bay's defense is pretty good. Richard Sherman got his first interception in his first 2 days back with the Bucks.
True.
Like they're getting better. So I think their biggest problem was that kind of deep threat. People playing that long ball, which they have. They're playing against Will Fuller, who could put up some nasty numbers here if he's not covered
Fuller's
well.
active.
Is he? I think he's on. I think he's active now. Did he
He
go
went back to the IR, no?
Oh yes, it is. Never mind. With a finger injury, damn it, I forgot about
Yep.
that.
Yep. He's gonna be back when Tua's back. So.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. Yeah, that's another
Guys
that's
made it like last.
another weapon gone, which means I would definitely try steer towards the Bucks.
Parker
winning.
is inactive as well, so Jalen Waddle is gonna have a beast of a game.
Yeah. All right, on to probably the worst game of the day. This game I hate. Washington football team at home to the New Orleans Saints. Washington +3, Saints -3. I hate this game for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Washington suck to watch. I think Taylor Heineke is kind of a fun quarterback, but I just don't think the team itself is very fun to watch. The Saints look like a complete mess. With Jameis Winston, you don't know whether they're going to be the elite team or they're going to be complete trash. Are they going to be the team that beat Green Bay? Are they going to be the team that loses to the Giants? We don't know. This team is just who knows what we're going to see from them. As for my pick, I'd probably have to go Saints -3 just because they have the most upside. That's it. But again, this is another game I would steer very clear of.
Saints won week 1, Saints lost week 2. Saints won week 3, Saints lost week 4. Saints are gonna win week 5.
The pattern.
I'm just gonna go for what the numbers show. Patterns, Saints have to win it here. Kamara has to explode, please.
Touchdown Falcons.
Pretty much 90% of my leagues. Mike Davis, yeah. So yeah, I feel like -2.5. It kind of has to go to the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for not betting on it. Yeah, I'd stay away from it as well. It's just not a pretty game. You don't know what to expect from either of these teams. You don't know what to expect from the Washington defense. You don't know what to expect from the Saints offense. You just don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, that's exactly right.
What do you think, Omar?
I mean, yeah, I think you guys hit both nails on the head. I do think at the end of the day, if you assume that the quality on the field is semi-close, you then look at coaching, and I think both coaches are fantastic. But I do think Sean Payton is a slightly better coach, right? So I mean, I think the Saints defense is actually very underrated. I mean, they still have Cameron Jordan, who's an absolute animal. I get it. Washington has Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but their secondary is still very subpar. Well, I think the Saints secondary is a bit better. So to me, I'm going Saints.
Yeah, nice one. All right, that was easier and less painful than I thought it was going to be. This one's an interesting game. I think the games from here on out are really exciting, fun games. Las Vegas Raiders at home to the Chicago Bears. They're -5.5, which seems an awful lot. Yeah, the Raiders are -5.5 at home, which seems kind of high to me. I thought this line would be a lot closer, maybe -1.5, -2.5 at most. This seems like too much to me. I think the Chicago looked better last game for sure. They obviously won. Justin Fields got his first win. It looked like they were playing more for Justin Fields rather than having Andy Dalton's plays put into Justin Fields' hands, if you know what I mean. It was more built around Justin Fields. Their defense is elite. I think the Raiders are really struggling on offense. The defenses are getting to Derek Carr a lot quicker now because they've had a couple injuries. I think have probably the best defense in the league, the Chicago Bears, especially their front four. I think the Chicago Bears win this game outright, so I'm definitely going to take the points here, plus 5.5. Yeah, Omar, tell me, you don't look pleased with my pick, so tell me, what are you thinking?
No. I mean, I think a lot of bold claims. Look, I appreciate that the Bears defense is good and getting better, but I'm still not that convinced with Justin Fields. I mean, like, okay, yeah, you beat the Bengals, who are immensely inconsistent, right? We can all agree they're inconsistent. I'm not saying they're a bad team; they're just inconsistent. Yeah, I think the Raiders, as you said, because they have been struggling a bit offensively, like it's one of those games where, like, you're slow, and then you rebound, right? Like this is the game where they're finally able to address all their kind of offensive woes and finally get Darren Waller going, finally get Brian Edwards going, finally get Henry Suggs going. And yeah, I'm really liking even the style of the Raiders. Like even if they are losing, like I just like how they're playing. But yeah, that's why I'm going Raider Nation.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Raiders do have yet another NFL team which has off the field off the field issues with their coach. So he's been in trouble. So I'm not sure how that will affect the team. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Those little things with like coaches and players I like to keep in mind when looking at the spread, because especially when because coach affects everything. If it's just one player, like a wide receiver, it's not that big of a deal. But when it's a coach, it could impact the whole team. So yeah, Gabba, what are you thinking?
I think Derek Carr is showing to kind of like proving his whole overrated mentality of a quarterback. I think he had amazing weeks 1 and 2, but then he just started going south. So I think we'll put up against a great defense like the Bears. I think he is going to struggle. And I do think, look, Justin Fields had a good game. Maybe not stat wise, because I don't think he even broke like 10 points fantasy points. But I think he will build on that. And I think Allen Robinson is, kind of like a lot of the people that have Allen Robinson. If you haven't traded for him, which I recommend you do, if you haven't traded for him, the Allen Robinson owners right now are struggling. This is kind of like their hit it or miss. It's now or never. It's either Darnell Mooney shine time or is it Allen Robinson? And I think this week is gonna pay off. It already did for the same thing happened with Robert Woods. I'm against him in a league and I freaking hate it. They were like, "Oh, we need Robert Woods more involved," and both 27 points in full PPR. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna happen as well, and I do think, the spread is a little bit too high for me to believe in the Raiders to win by 6 points. So. Sorry, Omar. I'll take the Bears.
Just another small reminder that David Montgomery's still out, so Damian Williams is now the starting running back. I mean, I am a fan of Williams, but just something to consider, right? Like it's no longer David Montgomery, who is at the end of the day a much better running back than Damian.
Yeah, I mean he is, and I mean David Montgomery has improved so much. But like you said it yourself, I also like Williams. I think he's a stellar running back. Not the same as Montgomery, but I think he'll fit in the shoes. Not to the extent that Madison does for Cook, but he'll be there. I mean, I'm starting him. So yeah, I'll take the Bears here.
Yeah, interesting.
Go Bears.
Interesting. I just saw on Twitter right now, FanDuel just tweeted that 91% of the money that has been bet on their site on the Titans Jags game has been on Titans minus 4.5. 91%. Which is like really, really like lopsided.
Like really, everyone is truly believing.
Yeah, but how much was the percentage for the Titans to beat the Jets?
Yeah, it's probably like 99.
Exactly.
But, yeah, who knows? I just saw like Antonio Brown is trending, so I'm gonna quickly check what that's about. Just give me a second.
What did he do?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
you always get scared.
Okay, there's nothing really. I think people are just asking whether to start him or sit him. Okay, moving on. This is probably like the game I want to watch most out of the 4:00 slots. Maybe tied most. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Chiefs are tonight. Los Angeles Chargers versus Cleveland Browns. Chargers at home minus 2.5. I'm definitely taking Chargers minus 2.5. They look amazing. Like we said, every time there's a 2.5, it really is like a field goal. It almost feels like money line kind of stuff. So I'm taking Chargers -2.5. Who wants to go next? Gabo.
I mean, both
Yeah,
Gabo and I think, have the same pick. So,
Oh, really?
Gabo, you can talk on behalf of our end.
Did I put the Browns?
Yeah.
I might change that.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I think. Oh, I think the Chargers are looking like the best team in their division, better than the Chiefs. I mean, they did beat the Chiefs. I just don't think Browns have a good quarterback. I mean, I think Baker sucks.
Oh.
He was very inconsistent. He's missing everything. I mean, then again, the Browns don't need him. That's the problem. Like I mean, that's the problem for every other team except the Browns. But the Browns don't need Baker. They just need any quarterback to like throw off a few passes just so that it's not so like predictable that they're gonna run the ball. But between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, that's all they need. And I think the Chargers defense has been insane this year. So I think Browns have met their match defense wise. And who's a better quarterback? Hands down Justin Herbert. Eckler's a beast. Like I know Omar, you love Eckler, dude. He's a champ. He's kind of like I don't know if he's kind of like the Daniel Ricciardo of NFL. I don't know if you can make that
Great comparison. Great comparison.
Yeah, with F1 fans. But yeah, no, I take the -2.5 for the Chargers here. Let me change that money line pick right away.
Well, I will stay true to my guns. I think the Chargers look really good. It makes sense, but I don't know. I think the thing about the Browns though, you can't just rule them out. Like at the end of the day, on paper they still have one of the best rosters in the league, right? And like this game kind of feels like one of those games where the Browns win it, and then like kind of the pendulum swings back to Baker's favor, and they're like, "Oh, is he actually maybe that good?" And because he has that much criticism, he knows he has to really perform. So I completely understand the logic behind going with the Chargers, just with that context that there is that added layer of pressure. The fact that the Browns have two literally all-pro running backs, like just hammering down defenses and not caring in the form of Kareem Hunt and Chubb. I will stick to my guns and continue to say the Browns.
Nice.
Omar, you should like put a bet on all your random like bets that you're going against us. Like you'd be like the underdog, and like your payout would be insane. Like
yeah, I know. Next time.
Drop $1 in there and see what happens.
Next time.
Alright.
Next game, we're on to the 4:25 games. This one's interesting. Dallas Cowboys at home versus the New York Giants, -7. This is the third game in a row the Dallas Cowboys have played at home. So that kind of like factors into it that they've kind of been able to have 3 weeks in a row in their own bed, no traveling, have won 2 out of 2 at home so far, or 3 out of 3, sorry. Kind of crazy. But at the same time, I think the Giants keep it close. I'm going to go Giants +7 for this one. I think Dallas Cowboys do win it, but I do think Daniel Jones is looking better and better. He's a top 10 quarterback right now. Saquon Barkley is finally back up to being Saquon Barkley. So why not? I think, and you know, Dallas's defense sucks. They let up tons and tons of points. I think they run the ball a lot in this game. I'm gonna go with Giants +7. Omar. Omar or Gabo, what do you think?
First of all, Lance Baker here. He's thanking us for putting them in the chat so he can rewind to the right specific place for his analysis. I hope it's not a sarcastic comment. If it is, whatever. If it's a compliment, yeah, we got you, Lance. We got you.
I hope so.
Omar, carry on. What do you think?
Look,
about this
guys,
I have a lot to say about this one, so go ahead.
I just don't think the Giants are a good team. You guys try to give them the benefit of the doubt every single time. I was the only one that said Falcons when they were against the Giants, and true and behold, I was right. Like the Giants have maybe give them another year. Like I think next year they'll be a better team to contend with, even with that big of a spread. I just think the Cowboys, and it pains me to say the Cowboys. Just any positive thing about the Cowboys, but it pains me to say the Cowboys are gonna easily cover the spread. Like they have Elliott, they have Lamb. Like They have Gallup. They have Gallup just as a secondary option. Like, hey, just in case, like we can bring in this also very good wide receiver in a 3 wide receiver set. So yeah, I think it's just Cowboys through and through. Go Cowboys.
Giants would have covered the spread if they were +7 versus every team, though, apart from the Broncos. But Broncos, first game, there was no Saquon Barkley. And, like, week 1, we can almost, like, say half of the teams in NFL were not ready for, like, week 1. So I never even look at week 1. Week 2, week 3, week 4, they lost by 6 points last week in overtime. 3 points against the Falcons, last-second field goal, lost by 1 point against Washington. Like, they've been there or thereabouts every single game. I know the Cowboys are a lot better than the 3 teams I mentioned, but at the same time, I do think, with Saquon Barkley back to full force, if you will, I think this won't be as easy as everyone thinks, and +7 seems pretty nice.
Okay, I'm gonna side with Omar on this one.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Finally, but not
Finally
because
someone with logic.
not because of the Giants though. I think the credit is more on the Cowboys. I was talking to Dan about this earlier in the week. The Cowboys are, to me, the scariest team to play at home, like in Dallas, in the AT&T Stadium. And I think they've shown it. I mean, Elliott has been popping off. Amari Cooper is always there, reliable. CeeDee Lamb is a little bit like just their shadow in the shadows, but like again, they haven't needed him. They're a team that they score a lot with Dak Prescott, so it's really up to, like you said, the defense and whether they're gonna stop Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. I do think the Cowboys easily score a buttload of points, like more than 30, even more than 40 easily. So whether the Giants can stay close enough for it to be within 7, I don't think so. So I do think the Cowboys at home will win by more than 7 points. So I will take the -7 with the Cowboys. I love this team. I really do love this team. Come on, believe in your Elliott boy, Dan. You got this.
It's not just Elliott anymore. It's Tony Pollard is just as much as him. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if they can do it this time. I think they win, but I don't think they win by more than a touchdown. Yeah. This game's interesting. Arizona Cardinals at home to the Niners, who are playing Trey Lance at quarterback today. Arizona are -5.5. I'm going to take Arizona. They're an unstoppable force against a team who cannot function very well on offense, who has a rookie starting for the first time and had barely played in college, let alone the NFL. This just speaks an absolute massacre to me. I think this is like a double-digit beatdown. So -5.5, Arizona Cardinals.
I'll step in again. Lance, you're the man. So it wasn't sarcastic. It was a nice. He actually has some suggestions here. He likes our how we break it down. He would like some on-screen graphics. So yeah, we'll work on them. I'll try and put some helmets to my side. What we can put like I think this is what he's suggesting. Like having every time we talk about a pick, so like Giants on my left, Cowboys in here, and then just put the picks, and then we select something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lance,
makes
that's
sense.
only. Yeah, that's only if Seb is in here or Omar's in here and we're 3 people, so it's kind of awkward when I have. If it's 4, we'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm more than happy to put some graphics.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I step in? Sorry, Omar, your pick lost. Falcons win.
However, it was close. I will admit, I will take the L, but I will take the L. I will take the L, but it was close. It wasn't too far.
That's true. Fair enough.
But anyways, it's okay. My Jags pick is gonna redeem me. Watch, my Jags pick is gonna redeem my score. But yeah, sorry with that spread. I think. Look, I would also go the Cardinals. I just also want to throw a disclaimer in there, or like not disclaimer. Kind of play devil's advocate. Justin Herbert last year, when he first started, it was his first game against the Chiefs, and he won. Right, like that was his first start. It was when Tyler Taylor got his lung punctured, and he just added a different level of dynamism to the offense that even the Chiefs didn't prepare for. Now, Trey Lance was named starter for a while, so I'm sure the Cards would have prepared for him, but he is a much more mobile quarterback. From the small flashes we've seen in preseason, he has the potential to do those big plays that I don't think Jimmy can. I would still go with the Cardinals though. However, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the 49ers like squeeze this one in, just because like Shanahan is such a good coach. He will try to finesse some magic to make us win. But and again, I'm a biased 49ers fan to take what I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, I'd also go Cardinals.
Yeah, I think if
Cardinals,
Jimmy G was playing, I think it would be a lot closer. But I just don't have any
Really?
faith in Trey Lance. I mean, the guy's played basically one season in college. His senior year, he didn't even play. He played one game. He played for North Dakota State, didn't play a single good team. Whereas, you know, you're using Justin Herbert as an example. Played for Oregon, the best team in the Pac-12. Played all 4 years, or maybe it was 3 years. No, he played 4 years. I just never understood the analysis that experts do, taking people like Zach Wilson and Trey Lance ahead of Mac Jones, Justin Fields. Makes zero sense to me. You can already see that, you know, Justin Fields and Mac Jones are way ahead of pretty much everyone else in that pack. Trevor Lawrence is probably still the best quarterback, so he was right to get picked first. But I don't know why Mac Jones was taken last out of the top quarterbacks, and same with Justin Fields. It makes no sense to me, and it's being proven again.
No, okay, but to answer that point, I think the teams that were looking for quarterbacks in those top teams, their system used the more mobile quarterback.
Justin Fields rushed for more yards than Trey Lance did.
No, okay.
So it makes no sense, and he's a better.
Wait, you're talking about Mac? Did you say Mac Jones or Justin Fields?
Both of them.
So, okay, Justin Fields, that to this day, I don't really understand. I think the Bears did the best decision by moving up to trade for him. Like, that was a good move, right? But specifically Mac Jones, I think just the teams that were looking for quarterback in that range, they just needed someone with a different skill set than him, right? It wasn't the fact that he's bad or not. It's just that they wanted a more mobile, their play style, their system was that of a more mobile way.
I still disagree with that because like it's all about, to me, it's about experience. Like you can take that huge gamble and say this guy has the running capabilities to be a great quarterback, or you could go to a guy who has played under the best offense, the best team in college football, in Alabama, who just ran absolutely everyone. Even Ohio State and Clemson were nowhere near as good. Absolutely torched them. I think that is like a huge plus over any possible running capabilities or whatever. I don't understand moving up that much to get a guy who played for 3 seasons but only played like 18 games in college for North Dakota State. It just makes any sense to me. But we'll see, I guess. Maybe he'll prove me completely wrong, and he will light up the Arizona Cardinals today.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, today's Sunday night football game. This is a good one. This is probably my favorite game of the day.
Hello?
Yes?
Nobody listens to Gabo? Hello?
Okay, sorry. We don't really care, but go ahead.
Oh my god. I was gonna pick the Niners, man. No, I'm kidding. No, I would say I'll pick the Cardinals. But I will say, like, I can attest to, you know, college experience from any of these quarterbacks. I do think Trey Lance is better than Jimmy G going forward. I think we saw a flash of him against the Seahawks last week. Even the mobility aspect of it, the passing aspect of it. I do think that the 49ers are a better team with Trey Lance than with Jimmy G right now. Jimmy G just hasn't looked that great anyway. I feel like he's just getting lucky stat-wise because he passes to Deebo Samuel, and Deebo does everything else. But yeah, I mean, I still think, what was the spread? -4, -4.5, -5, something like that? Yeah, I think the Cardinals they're unstoppable. They're the only undefeated team. Yeah. They're gonna win by quite a bit. So, and at home, I'll take the Cardinals.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right, Sunday night football. We'll talk. This is our last one. We'll leave the Monday night one in case we stream on Monday night. Kansas City Chiefs at home to the Buffalo Bills, only -2.5. Omar, what's your pick? Actually, no, Gabo, since you had a little meltdown there about us forgetting about you, let's go with you first.
I like it. I appreciate it. This is a good game, man. This is an over, you know, bet for sure on the total points. It's gonna be back and forth. And Arrowhead, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen. These two, they always have some good games every year, and they're almost always they've been the AFC Finals, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Twice already now, I think. I just find it hard to bet against like I'm looking at the stats and like at the previous games, and I just find it hard to pick the Chiefs to win here. I know they're the Chiefs. I know it's Pat Mahomes. I know it's Travis Kelce. I know it's Tyreek Hill, but they haven't looked pretty. They haven't been, as pretty as people would
You
have thought.
did pick the Chiefs for the money line. I'm just
Okay, well,
saying.
thank you reminding me to
Um,
change the maybe I'll start.
I'm just
Um,
saying.
I was the only one. I was the only one that didn't go Chiefs, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get roasted for it."
no, okay, no, I got you, I got you. It's just Allen, they're back to back. I think it's 80 points in 2 games almost. If I'm not mistaken, they've scored more than 40 points against their last opponents. So it's just based on hype, based on pattern, based on stats from the previous weeks. I don't see the Bills losing this game, so it's a +3. It's not even that bad, so I'll take the Bills +3 here. I mean, Tyler Bass is gonna get those kicks no matter what. Best kicker in the league. Let's go. Well, of course not Justin Tucker, but yeah, I'll take the Bills. Until the Chiefs prove me wrong, they're at the bottom of their division for a reason. So, until I see anything different, I'll take the Bills here.
Nice. Omar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from day one. Like, regardless of the spread or whatever, I had the Bills on the money line. I think with the NFL, I personally actually really dislike week 5 to 7 because a lot of teams are still trying to figure out their identity. Like 1 to 3 is kind of the hot hand, 5 to 7 is the identity. Like, I think that the easiest, most comfortable weeks to bet on is from 7 to 12 and like maybe 13, just because that's when you really have a good grasp of what teams' strengths and weaknesses are. And it just feels like this is the sort of game where, as you guys were saying, like it could be a very high offensive scoring game, but just based, as Gabo was saying, the hot hand, the form, and I think just the momentum going into it, I think Bills win it. And I actually think a huge part of that success has been not only like adding Emmanuel Sanders, who's been playing out of his mind. Sorry. I also think the fact that they've been using Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, like that 1-2 punch has been super successful for them. It's really added a different level of dynamic offense to their plays. So yeah, I'm going Bills. Dan, what are your thoughts? Are you gonna go with the trusted Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chiefs on this one. I think
Ooh.
they're very much in need of a win, with the Chargers being the front runners here. They do not want to play in any wild card game. They want to be the best in the conference, in the division, and being this far behind already is not boding well for them. Whereas the Bills can kind of like cruise by their division because the Patriots are like the closest thing to harming them. I think at Arrowhead, this is a must-win game. The fans know that. The team knows that. Whereas the Bills aren't in that must-win mode at the moment. They're kind of already ahead of the game, if you will. There's not much competition for them. All of this is going to go on to Kansas City. If they lose this game, this could be a disaster, I think, because that's 3 times they've lost this season already, and we're only in week 5. So I'm just going on that, purely that notion that they have to win. I think the teams are very evenly matched. I think Buffalo have the better defense. Kansas City have the better offense. We'll see which one pulls through. But yeah, -2.5. I think it was +3 and -3.5. It would be a bit of a different story for me. I think it would be a bit closer, but -2.5, less than a field goal. I'm just gonna go with the Chiefs. But yeah, I think that's us. We kind of flew through those picks today. Only an hour. Usually we're a bit longer. Should we do
Talk a little bit about
a bit of fantasy football?
sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
So
it starts. I'm down.
all right. So who do we start? Should we start with quarterbacks? Who's your must-start quarterback for the day? How about we do this? Must-start quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, kicker for this week.
Are we talking about like the typical ones? Like,
Let's not pick Derrick Henrys and all those like elite guys, Ezekiel Elliott's, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Let's pick more
Okay.
unknown, if you will, lesser players, tier 2, tier 3 players. I'll start with you, Gabo. Who's your quarterback to start this week?
I I think it's a comeback game for Tom Brady, so that would be my start of the week. Again at home after a terrible game against Belichick in the rain. I think this is against the Dolphins. Again, Florida, man, Florida after Florida competition. So yeah, I see here maybe 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns for Tom Brady. So that's my start. Good that I have him in like two of my leagues. So
Yeah.
that'll be my quarterback start. How about you, Omario?
All right, let's go with Don first.
We already talked about this team, the New York Giants. I'm going with Daniel Jones. He's ranked number 6th best quarterback so far in the league. He is definitely on waivers for a lot of people. He is a solid guy. The worst he's put up is 16 points, and that was against Atlanta. The best he put up was 29 points against a Washington defense, which was supposed to be one of the best defenses. He completes around 68% of his passes, scores a touchdown in nearly every single game. He's only thrown 1 interception. A lot of people kind of like think of Daniel Jones as someone who throws a lot of interceptions. 1 interception through 4 weeks is not bad at all. That's better than even the most elite quarterbacks. And yeah, I don't see why. He has shown no reason why not to start him. Let me put it that way. Against the Dallas defense, which could be leaky, and with Saquon Barkley back in the passing game, and kind of like having Saquon there allows him to run a lot more, I think, as well. So, yeah, I'm going with Daniel Jones on this one. Omar, are you ready?
I think I will go for the top ranked quarterback so far in the league. Apparently, I think Kirk Cousins is due for another good game.
Nice.
I think the Lions are their defense is okay, but you have people like Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and even Madison, who's a decent pass catcher.
Yeah.
You have all these people that you can throw to. I think he's due for a good game.
Nice. All right.
Cool.
I think all of those quarterbacks are pretty solid. I have in our league, if we want to talk about our league, I have Matthew Stafford there, and I think I'd be pretty comfortable having any of those 3 quarterbacks start over Matthew Stafford this week. Although he's already played, he did have a stinker of a game. He's not looking that good, Matthew Stafford, so I'd be happier plugging in any of those players. All right, next, let's go running backs. I'll start first. Omar already mentioned him. We already mentioned him earlier today. Dalvin Cook's out. It's Alexander Madison's show. I think he is a must start. I think he's probably a low-end RB1, high-end RB2. I was earlier today when that first came out thinking of dropping Saquon Barkley and starting him just because.
Okay, I thought you meant like.
No, not
him.
dropping just for today. Just because one's against Detroit Lions, one's against the Dallas Cowboys. But I don't think I can do that. Saquon Barkley's been good to me the last 2 weeks. And I'm so far ahead already. I don't think I need to take the chance. Anyway, so yeah, Alexander. Yeah, I mean, I already got 79 points from 4 players, so not bad.
This guy. All right, well, I'll step in. I think I have 2 candidates, so I'm just gonna pick one here. I think
Okay.
Damian Harris is gonna have a comeback, win it or like all in or nothing kind of type game, against the Houston. Amazing. You'll give me fantasy points, Houston Texans. So and I think the Patriots had established quite a set dynamic when they played against the Buccaneers. So I think obviously it was a little bit underexploited because of the weather and because Tampa Bay rush defense is pretty good, pretty tight. So I think Damian Harris is gonna, it's a flex, kind of like low RB2, maybe high RB3 type guy this week. I think he's gonna have a beast of a game. He's been disappointing me so often, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. But I have him in my bench, so I'm thinking of starting him over. I think who do I have? I have Henry and Najee Harris in that league, so there's no way. But I might start him over like the likes of like Jamison Crowder, who didn't play well, Tim Patrick, and who else? Tom Pollard. So yeah, that would be my RB pick, Damian Harris.
Yeah. So I will go a very complete curveball. To stay with my theme for today's picks. The Eagle, no. So the Eagles have the second worst rush defense. They've allowed so far 601 yards per game. Total. Not per game. So based on that, I actually think Chuba Hubbard is then due for a good game. Just based off that logic, like you just try to at the end of the day, he's a decent running back, like in terms of talent. So yeah, I think he's one. Like if you're trying to find a running back to stream, he would be a good one to plug in.
Nice. All right, wide receivers. I'll start. I think Marvin Jones had a stinker last week, or was it the week before? I can't remember. But DJ Chark's out. This team is probably going to have to go through the air to beat the Tennessee Titans, and we saw last week that the New York Jets did just that. So I'm going to go with Marvin Jones against the Titans.
Okay.
Interesting.
I talked about Deontay Johnson earlier, but I think he's more like a WR1 now. So, he's kind of like the only wide receiver that Big Ben is throwing good balls to. So it's kind of like a must start anyway. So I'm going to go and think of a smooth jazz type player. It's
Smooth jazz.
a player that left the team and went to another crappy team. But hopefully he had a great game last week. Omar's like, who the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, I'm so curious now.
I'm talking about Kenny G, man. Kenny G.
Oh my god.
I think if we're believing in Daniel Jones, we have to believe in Kenny Golladay. Darius Slayton is out. Sterling Shepard is out. There's this other guy that people are picking up. I can't remember his name. It's a great pickup. It's a great start as well. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Kenny G, I think is gonna have a great game. He had 7 targets, 6 receptions last week, over 100 yards. I think it was 116 if I remember. That I just saw a couple of minutes ago. But I think he's gonna step up. I mean, Dallas are the 3rd worst defense in the air, and they will be trailing. I do think the Giants will be trailing early. So Kenny G's poised for another. I would love to trade for him right now. Actually, I'm gonna send a trade right now in the last 10 minutes.
live and direct.
Okay. With that in mind, let's move on to the tight end position. PPR.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Omar doesn't need to talk. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, you did? Oh, my bad.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
You either die a hero or long live enough to become the villain. Wow.
Exactly. All right, well, before I let you talk, I'm going to let you finish. But we do have JJ Witt here asking in PPR, Fournette, Edmonds, or Zach Moss.
Edmonds? Ooh,
Fournette, Edmonds,
that's a
Zach
good
Moss.
one.
I think here's my pick, JJ Witt. I think Fournette is going to have a fantastic game. They've established him as the number 1 runner here in that team, and he got a lot of pass catching opportunities as well. They used to go to Giovanni Bernard. With Giovanni Bernard out, that type player is going to be Fournette. Edmonds, he is playing. He's likely to start. He's still likely to start. He has a shoulder injury, so I wouldn't risk it too much. James Conner has had a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't put him in all the in all the snaps and just let James Conner move it around. And Zach Moss, with Devin Singletary there, I don't trust who to start there. I feel like Miami fan saying that too. I'm not a Miami fan. I just have the freaking what do you call the hat? Trying to show us some merch. So yeah, I'll take Fournette. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would take Fournette as well. He's definitely coming into his own finally, because last year he was not that good. He was very much a benchable player. I think now Tom Brady is using him a lot more. As Tom Brady slows down, I think they're going to have to run the ball quite a bit more. Not saying that he's slowing down much, but I think they've kind of expanded it from just having a passing game to very much having a running back who can pass catch and run the ball. And with Gronk out, that's one less person that they can throw to. So yeah, I would definitely plug in Fournette.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys covered it all. I think it's just to me, it's not necessarily that the other 2 options are bad. It's just that Fournette is a lot better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as you're saying, Chase is sharing a lot with James Conner, who continues to get more and more touches. And Zach Moss, honestly, I think, look, him and Singletary are very, very good as a 1-2 punch, as we just were talking about. But specifically in terms of situation, this game is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
right? It's literally just gonna be who can score more, who can outburn the other, and with that logic, it depends. If the Bills defense stops the Chiefs early, then they will run it and they will try to extend that play. But even then, they would want to keep Mahomes off the field as long as possible. So it's going to be like power runs where it's like just gaining like 5 yards bit by bit and moving down the field slowly, right? So you also have to adapt your picks based on the game that is going to be played. Fournette to me is the way forward. But again, the fact that you have all these three options on your team on fantasy, very, very good running back depth.
Yeah, absolutely. So Omar, what's your wide receiver pick now that I'm gonna let you talk now.
Thank you. So to me, it's as boring as it as I will be. I think good old reliable. Oh wait, so are we going just like people 100% that are gonna do well, or just like a unexpected pick?
Like unexpected flex kind of pick.
Yeah.
Unexpected flex kind of pick. Alrighty, I think I would go with Hollywood Brown. I think he's been underperforming for a very long time, but the Colts have looked really, really bad. Like really, really bad. So I would hope by now the Ravens have their passing game together, and I think just that game where he just kept dropping everything. Like honestly, it was just one of those days at the office, like it's just a bad time. But I mean, it doesn't change the fact he's top 15, top 20. I actually think he's top 11. He's number 11 wide receiver. I don't know in terms of fantasy, but at least raw, I would assume that also translates to fantasy. But in terms of raw receiving yards, and he's top 11. So I'd go Hollywood Brown. I think this is his game to shine.
Nice.
Would have been higher. He didn't have those 3 drops.
Yeah, the Butterfingers.
Yeah. All right, tight end position. Dan, you want to get the...
Man, my tight end would have been Kyle Pitts, and I'm not just saying that, but I have him on my team, so I would have definitely put Kyle Pitts, and he had a monster game.
I mean, you have something to show for it. You did bet on him having a big game.
Yeah,
so...
I put over
Yeah.
5.5 receptions, and he had nine receptions.
He smashed it.
Yeah, he was a killer, man.
With
Calvin Ridley and I think it was Russell Gage were both out. I was like, they got no one else to throw the ball to here. They have to throw it to him.
Yeah.
So that would have been my pick. The other pick is probably Dawson Knox from Buffalo Bills. If you really want like an underutilized pick, undervalued pick, Dawson Knox, number 6 tight end so far this year, and he is against Kansas City. I think this is going to be very much a shootout game. I hope it is. Last week we said something was going to be. Which game did you and I say it was going to be a shootout and it wasn't?
Bucks Patriots.
Bucks Patriots or something. There was another one as well that we said was going to be a shootout and it was like a low scoring game. It hit the
Browns,
under.
Vikings. Maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
You're not really giving all our viewers confidence.
I know. So I'm saying,
by the way, it was them too. Omar didn't say that. I'm just saying.
So yeah,
I am not part of this.
If this is gonna hit the over or hit like a high scoring game, Dawson Knox is certainly gonna be part of it. I would take this shot down the field at Dawson Knox. Let me quickly check what his lowest scoring game was. His lowest scoring game was 6 points, but he is getting around 4 targets per game right now, about 40 yards, and has scored a touchdown. Has scored 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games, which is pretty good. He is definitely the red zone target. So even if he's not receiving that many, he's getting the red zone targets, and that's what you look for.
Yep. Kumar, what are you?
On the notion that I think the Giants are absolutely awful, and therefore the Cowboys are going to steamroll them. I think Dalton Schultz has been a very consistently good performer for that Cowboys offense. They've used him quite frequently, and more importantly, in terms of fantasy relevance, in the end zone. He's gotten quite a few touchdowns already, and so. Yeah, I think he'll be really, really good. He will get you, like, he's not gonna be a Kyle Pitts explosion in terms of, I think Kyle Pitts ended the day with 27, 28 fantasy points after that game against the Jets, but I think he'll get you like 10, 15, which from a tight end, unless you're having kind of the top 3 elite, the holy trinity of Kelsey, and Waller and Kittle, who's now on IR, I think that'll be very, very good. So I'll go Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, I mean that was gonna be one of my picks. I have a backup, no worries. But I do wanna add, like, yeah, if this guy is in your bench, Dalton Schultz, pick him up. Like, don't be stupid, pick him up right now. The Cowboys are using him a ton, and I'll disagree with you, Omar. He will get you those 20 points. He did it once. He got 23 points with 2 touchdowns like 2 weeks ago. He got 15 points last week. Targets wise, this guy's getting 7 and 8 targets in 2 like back-to-back games, and he's catching them all pretty much. So if this guy's in your bench, start him. I would personally start him over the likes. Well, now look for the guys that are struggling with Kittle, what to do with Kittle for the next 3 weeks. Here you go. Here's your saving grace. But another saving grace for me would be, at least for this week, would be Mike Gesicki, Miami Dolphins. We talked about it before. Will Fuller's out. Devonta Parker's out. Who else do you got? You got Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki, and he's shown up the last 2 weeks. I think a lot of the people that drafted him were extremely disappointed week 1 and 2. They dropped them out of panic, and they were easy to pick up. So if you haven't picked them up, pick him up. I would definitely start him this week. Wouldn't hesitate at all. So yeah. Do we quickly do? I mean, no need for kickers. There's no way to even touch on that. Defense, any
Patriots.
streamer defense?
Patriots.
Yes,
Cowboys.
Yes.
I don't know if the Texans are going to score, so I would take the Patriots.
Yeah, I would take the Patriots as well. I don't think they're gonna score either. I think Green Bay is another good one as well. I think Green Bay is Jalen Smith playing.
That's risky. That's risky.
Yeah, but the thing
Bengals
is,
are
like,
still good. Bengals are still scoring a minimum of 15 points a game.
I'd pick up
I know.
Vikings as well.
Yeah, Vikings would be a
Vikings
good
too. Vikings too. The thing is, the Packers they've been scored on, but they still give you the fantasy points because they get the sacks, they get the interceptions, they get the pick sixes, they get the, they actually do get the fantasy plays.
That's
Also,
true.
Cowboys have had a pick 6 the last 2 or 3
What
games?
is happening? Guys, Seb just messaged in the chat, Vikings. Seb, where the hell are you?
Yeah.
Where the hell are you?
Seb,
Right
the
now.
guy who puts in his pick 4 minutes before a game is over.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, guys, I was gonna pick the Falcons anyway. Like when they're
I
already
say we
13
disqualify him
points
from that.
ahead.
Yeah, that is some BS, man. I'll just wait until the Kansas City game's on and then choose whoever is winning in the last 6 minutes and put that as my pick.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, having said that, I'm gonna lock it right.
This show is getting chaotic.
You can't lock it because I might want to change my mind before the 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock games. Just take a screenshot of what I've put for the 1 o'clock ones if you don't
No,
trust me.
I'm just gonna lock I'll lock per like the cells.
Yeah.
for that.
Well, the 1 o'clock games have officially kicked off now, so we can change it.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Seb is apparently very, very hungover, so that's why.
Oh man,
Oh,
and
my goodness.
I guess on that note, thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully you had as much fun as we definitely do. We do this on a weekly basis, so join us for week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not gonna go all through it.
18. Now we have 18. Let's
Yeah,
go.
now we have 18. So yeah, good luck on your fantasy leagues. Good luck in your bets. We will try to stream for the Monday night game. If not, join us next week. We always try to do money line spreads and time permitting some fantasy talk as well.
And our
Let
cheers.
us know your and tiers. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Would love to get your opinions on everything that we've been saying. I know, sometimes we're all in agreement, but sometimes I try to be a smartass and go way off field, like with my Jets pick, who were still close, FYI. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. Gabo, Dan, any last words before we get to our red
enjoy your
zone?
Sunday. It's the best day of the week.
Go Packers.
Exactly. Go
Yeah.
49ers. Alrighty, have a good one, everyone. Take care.